Hyundai has made it crystal clear that it wants to be a leader in Australia's burgeoning electric car market. And vehicles like this, the Kona Electric, are a huge part of that. This is the second EV that Hyundai has launched in Australia, following hot on the heels of the Ioniq, and it claims to be a real game changer. We're at the Australian launch on the outskirts of Adelaide today. Let's take a quick look. To stand apart from its siblings, the Kona Electric has a closed grille incorporating the charge point, active air flaps in the front bumper, more aero-friendly rear bumper and 17-inch alloy wheels, extra cladding and standard roof rails. There are a couple of facts and figures that really come to mind with the Kona Electric. Like any EV, of course, there's price. It's $59,990 plus on-road costs for the entry-grade Elite. That's $10,000 more than a Nissan Leaf and $15,000 more than an entry-level Ioniq. But it's not quite apples for apples. This car has a more expensive and higher capacity 64 kilowatt-hour battery pack, giving it a range against the WLTP cycle of 450 kilometres. And that's a real-world cycle with air conditioning on, driving like a normal person. Trust me, it really is that far. In terms of charging, if you've access to a 100 kilowatt DC charger, you can top it up to 80% in 54 minutes. If you choose to use the Hyundai wall box and use your AC power at home, you can charge it from dead empty to full in 9.5 hours, giving you theoretical overnight charging. Now, surely a range of 450 k's and a number of charging options should at least somewhat put range anxiety to bed. A few other stats for you. The battery powers a front-mounted electric motor making 150 kilowatt of power and 395 newton meters of instant torque, giving you a 0 to 100 kilometer an hour sprint time of 7.6 seconds and a governed top speed of 167 kilometers an hour. Its 449 kilometre distance claim is 50% greater than the Ioniq's and 40% greater than the Leaf's, and greater even than what a circa $150,000 Mercedes-Benz EQC will offer when it arrives in October of this year. While that 60 grand plus price is notable, it's worth mentioning that the Kona Electric kicks off above £30,000 in the UK before the government subsidy is returned, which is about $57,000 Australian on current exchange rates. So in other words, Hyundai Australia isn't really taking the mickey, the tech is just that expensive for now. Compared to the regular Kona, the electric version has a new digital instrument cluster and centre screen surround, a slicker climate control panel and a reworked area where the transmission tunnel would usually reside, incorporating buttons instead of a shifter and more storage options. Befitting the Kona Electric's status as range flagship, both versions are equipped with Hyundai's full range of SmartSense active safety tech, including AEB, blind spot monitoring, driver attention alert, lane keeping and centering assist, active cruise control and rear cross traffic alert. Other standard fare on the Elite includes an 8-inch screen with sat-nav, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, leather seats, a proximity key with button start, climate control, rain-sensing wipers, Infinity premium audio and a digital radio. The Kona Electric Highlander grade at an extra $4,500 adds LED headlights and taillights. I cannot believe they aren't standard. High beam assist, a sunroof, heated and ventilated front seats, a heated steering wheel, a dinky flip-up head-up display and a Qi wireless phone charging pad. And I can tell you straight away that 450k claim driving range is legit. On the drive out here today, I was driving in a fairly spirited way at relatively high freeway speeds and was on track to about hit that. So if you drove more economically, even something like 500 wouldn't be out of the picture. Driving the Kona Electric is a real reminder to me how pleasant EVs are to drive. First of all, you've got that instantaneous slab of torque, almost 400 newton meters of it, which means, as you can see, the response is just fantastic and instantaneous. It's also really quiet around town, and you've got these paddles here on the steering wheel that don't change gear, but actually control the level of brake regeneration. And you can even do one pedal driving by bringing the car to a complete stop by holding in the left paddle. It's a really cool, neat feature. In terms of ride and handling, Hyundai Australia's crack team of engineers have had their wicked way with this car, changed the dampers front and rear, the spring rates, the shocks, all sorts of things going on underneath the car to account for that extra weight, and it handles really, really well. It's got quite a nice loping ride quality about it, but it also feels quite zippy, quite darty, and if you have that brake regen on, when you're coming into a corner, it slows the car down, transfers the weight, and really gives you a great zippy feel. You could definitely turn this into some sort of road rally car if you really wanted to. Downsides, well, you may be able to hear it. There is a fair bit of road noise going on. In fairness, this is coarse chip bitumen, and there's no engine noise to drown out things, but you are hearing a lot of tyre roar and a bit of wind noise as well. There is probably a case for a little bit more sound insulation to be fitted, but you have to keep in mind the practicalities of price and weight as well. All told, I'm really impressed with this car. The driving range is fantastic. Price is feasible for what you're getting. The response is great. As with any EV, if you can actually get bums in seats of vehicles like this, you'll convert a lot of people really quickly. This car is the car that could really change the face of EVs in Australia. As with every other Hyundai passenger car and SUV, the Kona Electric received a number of Australia-specific suspension changes based on local engineering tests. The group claims to have cycled through 37 different damper designs and 6 different spring and anti-roll bar combinations. The Kona Electric uses more aluminium in its construction, helping offset the heavy battery pack. At 1,685 kilos, it's still 270 kilos heavier than the size equivalent turbocharged Kona Highlander. So that's a first look at Hyundai's second EV in Australia. Clearly, it will remain a niche seller until the electric car market is broader and more accessible, but the Korean brand is certainly setting the right foundations. By the end of this year, there will be 12 different EVs on sale, and once momentum builds, cars like the Kona Electric will become much more widely accepted. It's not even in doubt. Head to caradvice.com for more information and to read the written component of this review.